Dennis Malley.
Thank you, Wayne. Thanks again, Wayne. I'm Dennis Maley.
Maley,
And
sorry.
I'm a granny freak. I love grandmas. Got no use for young women at all. I'm here representing Granny Freaks Anonymous. We're trying to recruit new members. We have a 12-step program. Well, we lost Betty White and Queen Elizabeth. Now we have a 10-step program. My homepage is www.mygranny'saslut.com. And I'm going to cut from my ordinary routine to tell you that what we got to talk about next is the elephant in the room. It's Martha Stewart.
Is she here?
Martha Stewart's not here, but you saw her photographs, didn't you? Everybody that saw her photographs on them, she was in a swimsuit spread in Sports Illustrated, I think. If you saw her picture, raise your hand if you saw her picture and masturbated. Which leads me into another situation. It's Adidas is selling a transsexual bathing suit. I guess they had a picture of a guy with a bulge, and Target is selling a what they call a tuck-friendly bathing suit. I decided to get one for Wayne. I appreciate him inviting me. I would have brought it this evening, but it didn't arrive. I was so pissed. I called customer service. I said, I've ordered this item and the package didn't come in. And the customer service representative said, we sent it to someone else. I said, who'd you send it to? He said, Michelle Obama. Okay. I want to tell you that this stuff about older women being sexually more aggressive is fake news. I've run that through my own fact check and found it not to be true at all. Just think about the demographics. If you imagine that the population of single older women is like a pizza, a pie chart, there is a narrow slice of women that have taken themselves out of the game altogether. It's your nuns. They ain't had none, don't want none, ain't going to get none. And then there's a group of women that have also taken themselves out of the game. Lesbians. They've got alternate ornamentation, got no interest in men, fine. There's another big slice of women that got their own money. There ain't nothing a man's got they need. They can take care of themselves. And another huge slice of the demographic is women whose best friend is a cat named Elliot. What remains is a small slice of the demographic of women that actually need and want a man. That's who I'm wanting to talk to a little bit about this evening. The way to catch a man, if you need one, it might not be yourself, but a sister, an aunt, cousin. I can see that happen in situations. Share this information with them if you can. The way that here's me anyway, the way it works with me. I've got a few years under my belt, but when I was young, if I smelled a woman's perfume or got the smell of whiskey in my nostrils, I would just about go crazy. And now I'm older. Most days I'd just rather have a good bowel movement. And if you dial that back from bowel movement, food, casserole dish. You got to fix him a casserole. Take him the casserole. He'll have some good bowel movements. He'll be happy. And you know what? He's got to bring the dish back to you, which surrenders home field advantage. I know this. It happened to me. Like a dumbass, I took the dish back. what she wanted, can you help me put it back on the shelf? Sure, you know, I'm a good guy. Well, it's this, where do you put the casserole? It's the highest shelf in the house. So anyway, she's on this step ladder like old people aren't supposed to get on. And I'm helping balance her like this. One thing, you know, like you young people say, one thing led to another. I succumbed. The alarm went off at 3 o'clock. She woke me up for a do-over. I've been thinking about going back over there if I ever get my health back. Which I did zip up my pants, didn't I? I've been forgetting to do that a lot as I get older. If I ever forget to unzip, I'm going to quit doing stand-up. One thing you might not know about me is about 6 years ago I had a small stroke. I got that stroke from Wayne's mother. I'm never going to let her touch me like that again. So, my memory's shot. I need this helper. There have been a lot of changes that I've observed in my long existence. Back when I was a kid, it was a big deal. Get a girlfriend, smooch back and forth, get a little tongue. You know, the other day I saw on TV, there's a young kid who's getting tongue from the Dalai Lama. I'm not sure that's a good change. Back when I was a kid, in came this product, woman's product, pantyhose. Now pantyhose are out, finger banging's back in. Back then, I had a different view of lesbian sex, and I've had to change. I used to view lesbian sex on 16 millimeter, now it's high definition. And you know we had big cars. These are just tiny little rice wagons we drive around nowadays. We had a big car. I took a girl to a drive-in theater one night in a 52 Chrysler. I had sex in the back seat, which may not sound so strange, but we were standing up. My date was in the front seat. She thought I'd gone to get popcorn. That's how big the cars were. You know, there's a lot of difference between young women and grannies. With young women, you get a lot of drama. You get babies, you get cramps, you get menopause with some of the young women. And men say women overreact. And that's just a definition of overreaction is menopause. Ovary-action. Overreaction. Anatomical joke's not going over very good tonight. Sorry. The young women got pit bull dogs. They dance on poles. Got all that drama. Who needs that? They got daddy issues. What that means is their dad deserted them when they were kids, and they're looking for another guy to desert them when they're old. They never trust you, so don't do anything. A gal's got daddy issues. Well, I did have a younger girlfriend once. She had some of those daddy issues, and it was tough to deal with. I can't hardly believe it. She wanted me to give her money for a boob job in advance. And I said, you don't trust me. I don't trust you. That ain't the way it works. I don't front money for a boob job like that. Oh, she's bawling and crying. And she said, well, you can turn it in on your insurance. And I said, look, darling, if Medicare paid for anything to do with your boobs, I would have had a reduction. But like I say, she's nice looking and bawling, and I kind of had a spirit of compromise come over me. I said, well, Shug, let's do this. I will help you out on that. I'll pay for one boob this year and one boob next year. That's a better joke than that. Some other changes that I've seen in my long life is back when I was a kid, if you were in an institution like college or in the military, they put saltpeter in your food. And that would suppress a man's sexual desire. Nowadays, when they're wanting to suppress a kid's sex drive, they give him tickets to a Taylor Swift concert. There was another guy that was on the scene that affected the way we live a lot. Is Charles Manson. Y'all kind of aware of him?
Yep.
Yeah. He had a group of people, and I mean, most people think they were doing nothing, just wasting their time out on that ranch. But they had one project they were working on, trying to see if they could get 30 people to have a simultaneous orgasm. So they weren't completely wasting their time. You know, the other day I looked up on the internet, I Googled "come together," and I got a picture of Joe Biden. Come together. Man, I thought that was flying. Okay, you might be interested how I came to know that I was a granny freak. I was offered this job as a greeter at Victoria's Secret. And I thought I'd drive over there and check it out. And got lost. Had to stop at an AutoZone and ask for directions. And so, of course, got to wait in line at AutoZone all the time. The guy ahead of me was wanting a stroker kit. And he was complaining that he had rear-ended a '69 Cougar. I knew they was talking about cars, but I got as hard as trigonometry. So later on that day, I'm back at the house fluffing my nuts. I don't like to brag, but I got the fluffiest nuts in the state of Oklahoma. And I was watching reruns on the TV. It was women's beach volleyball, old reruns from the Olympics. And I wondered to myself, was I the only person in America that ever masturbated to the Olympics? And I also had this thought that if they had senior women's volleyball, I'd never leave the house. And that's when it dawned on me is, I get lost all the time, but I don't get a boner like that hardly ever. So, it's kind of lonesome one day, and I called an old girlfriend. Somebody I hadn't seen 50 years, probably. We used to really hit it off well. And I said, how you doing anyway? And she said, oh, Dennis, we're so glad you called. And I said, we? I thought you were single. And she said, well, we's my pronoun. We and they are my pronouns now. Kind of getting a picture about grandkids. I mean, that's a big turn on for me. They got grandkids. Oh, no. She said, I'm a non-gestational parent. I've got a little fur baby named Elliot. And I said, well, do you go to the senior center? She said, yes, I do. I said, so do I. They always want me to do these chair exercises over there, you know, and this is just like the chair exercises at senior center. It ain't really working out. So, I have two final thoughts that I'd like to share with you. I'll give the mic back to Wayne. is one of them is if you're ever dating a dominatrix, don't say it's time to hit the sack. And like most men, I like to make this brag that I've never paid for sex. But I'm committed to the idea that it's pretty damn chicken shit if you don't throw in a little bit of money on the light bill. Thank you. Tip your waitresses. Drive carefully on the way home. Thank you, Wayne.
Give it up for Dennis. The granny freak, right?